Hey guys, Bill Soriano here from Pittsburgh. I wanted to make an updated video today on our community strategy, and the strategy that I use as well, um, that I just used actually to pass phase one of a challenge. But I just wanted to make this to update it. So you may see videos from me. You may have my 15-minute trade plan that I talked a lot about in my recent videos, short videos, long videos. And so I just wanted to make this updated version so everyone's aware that our community did revise the strategy a little bit. And so you can use it on the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 30 minute, or even the higher time frames. So there's two different videos on this page here that were done by, Michael Martin, our community leader. And so this one here shows it on the 550, shows a strategy that can be used on the 5, 15 minute, or 30. Okay. He shows it on the 5. I like to do it on the 5 as well. But there's that video there that explains the strategy completely. So I'm not going to go into it in depth, but I am going to show you examples from last week's trading sessions. And then this is the actual trade plan for that, right? Set alarm for the ATH Pulse multi-time frame indicator. That's our community's proprietary indicator. That indicator has been updated. And so if you, like I said, if you watch my past videos, I'll talk about how all these conditions have to occur on one candle, the entry candle. That's no longer the case anymore because we've updated the indicator, and we also now use the cards, the scorecards on the Sniper Pro scanner. So you'll see that here in a minute. But anyway, when the alarm triggers, again, this is for people that have a couple hours a day to trade. Now, you don't have to stare at the charts for 2 hours. You don't even have to be at the computer, okay? But if you are at your computer, you can get other work done, or if you have things to do around the house, you can get that done as well. And then once you set the alert for our indicator to go off, and once that alert goes off, then that will bring you to the charts to get to the Sniper Pro scanner to see if all the conditions are met, or follow it until all the conditions are met, and then you can take the trade. So here's all the conditions here, right? And then if all confirmations are met, you take the trade, go for a 1-to-1. That's how we show this strategy, right? Put the stop loss behind the lower to high. And again, always trade on demo until you see consistent results. That's very important, right? You're always going to trade on demo. So this is the strategy for the lower time frame, right? 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute. We have people in the community do it on the 1 minute, right? I don't recommend that unless you are an advanced trader and you've done that before. I would just stick to no lower than the 5 minute, but you can use the 15 or the 30 as well. Now, for those of you that don't have a lot of time on your hands, you're working a full-time job. We have a strategy we just posted here that you can use on the higher time frames, the 1 hour to 2 hour to 4 hour, and it only takes about 10 to 20 minutes a day. You know, maybe 10 minutes in the morning before you go to work, 10 minutes in the evening after you go to work. There's a lot less conditions. It's much easier. Basically, most of the time you're just looking for the scorecard candle. Okay. And so we have these two videos here. I have these two videos on here on this page for you that you can watch. I'll put the link in the description area of this video. These are from the community, right? These were made by our community leaders, right? And so that's on this page here. I'm going to make this video today also showing you examples of this strategy in action. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to mention is when you do get started with us, you're going to get access to our quick start guide. And the really great thing about our company, guys, is, and most companies aren't like this, you can actually become a paid member and you can try us out for 7 days. Okay. You can actually use these strategies for 7 days. And if they don't work for you, if you if you think what we're saying isn't true, they don't work for you, or it's just not a fit for you, it's not a fit for your time, and when you have to trade, then you can ask for a refund and get all your money back as long as you're within that 7 day window. Okay. So That's what makes this opportunity so perfect for people. You do have to purchase the membership first, but it is risk-free for 7 days because if you're not happy, you just ask for your money back. Now, once you get started, you'll get this quick start guide here, which shows you how to access our Discord server, get access to our indicator, how to put it on TradingView, all that stuff. And then there's actually 3 different paths here that Michael has on here. Okay. Now these 3 paths are a little bit different than our main strategy here on the lower time frame, but you're going to get access to these 3 paths as well. And maybe one of them will work better for you. And then, of course, if you don't have a demo account yet, here, there's a link on how to create one and how to use the Trade Locker platform, which is really a great platform to trade on. So that's kind of what we're going to look at here today. So this is the strategy, right? Again, if you've gotten videos from me before or you see me talking about just a 15-minute strategy, this is now our new community strategy using our community's ATH pulse indicator, the multi-time frame one, and the company scanner, the Sniper Pro scanner. Okay. And that's just one of 9 scanners that you get with the company when you join, but that's the one that we use every day. Okay, so let's just show you a couple things. Let's just show you a couple trades from this week that I took screenshots of. So it's easier to take screenshots so I could show you exactly what I want to show you. This was in EURGBP. Now it's important we have a screenshot here for the scanner. This is our Sniper Pro scanner. This is what it looks like. You have price here. You have your trend up here. You have your sniper later down here, which is a proprietary indicator that's on the scanner. And so these scorecards are what we're looking for after we get our ATH alert. Okay. So we get the ATH alert on TradingView. That's our communities indicator that you'll get access to. You'll install it on the TradingView. We show you how to set the alerts. And once you get those alerts, then you come to Sniper Pro. Now, if there is no scorecard candle, then there's nothing else to do. Okay. But if there is a scorecard candle, now it doesn't have to be on the same candle that the ATH alert came out on. It could be a couple candles before. Okay. But if there's no scorecard, then there's really no trade. There's no reason to keep watching this pair. If there is a scorecard, then you're going to want to check to make sure everything lines up. Basically, everything blue for buy, everything sell, red for sell. Now, what's important to note is that this scanner, once a new scorecard prints, it gets rid of the old one. Okay, so that's why I take a screenshot of this because so that you can see this. Okay, the scorecard doesn't repaint. Okay, now it'll show up on this candle, and it may go on or off while this candle is forming. Once this candle closes, it's either going to show up or not show up. Okay, and it'll stay there until a new scorecard paints. Okay, so it's important to know that. Anyway, here's a gold candle. Gold works for both buys or sells. So basically, you know, if you go back to that page there, where was I at? Let's go back here right real fast. You can see here, it's basically blue for buy, red for sell, but a gold candle works for both. Okay, the gold candle works for both. So this is a gold candle. So you're blue up here, you're bullish up here. You have a gold candle, you have a blue scorecard, and down here in the sniper later, we can see that the snake line or the sniper line is blue, and the dash trend line is blue also. Price is also above the 55 EMA. It's closed above the 55 EMA. That's this line right here. It's a little bit easier to see on TradingView, which I'll show you in a second here. So we put that on TradingView so that it's just easier to see because sometimes all these colored lines here are closer together. Here you can see it very clearly. Okay, so that's it, EURGBP, right? You can see that all the conditions were met here. And so this was the actual trade here in trading view, this was when the ATH indicator came out, the ATH pulse right here. You can see, and price moved right up. This was a winning trade. It got up here, you know, and we would have taken our profit. Again, you're going to trade just a risk to reward of 1-to-1. Okay, so that would have been somewhere right around here, right? So you're gonna set this trade on demo. You're gonna set your stop loss, right? You're gonna set your take profit. It's gonna be a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio trade. You're just gonna let that trade run until it either hits profit or gets stopped out at a loss. Okay, and so that's where the indicator came out. Okay, you see a couple other, the indicator also painted again. Again, this indicator will not disappear on the charts, okay, like the scorecard does. The indicator stays here. Again, it doesn't repaint. It will go on and off as the candle it's on is forming. Once that candle closes, if it's there, it will stay there. If it's not there, it won't show up again on that candle. Okay, this is EURJPY, and this is where our ATH brought us to the charts right here. Okay, we're bullish, right? Prices down into those lower volatility bands. I didn't mention that on the last one, but you have these three lines here, which make up the lower volatility bands or the blue. Three lines at the top make up the red or the red volatility bands for sales. So again, you want everything blue for buys, red for sales. Okay. And so when we come here, we see price was down into those bands. We have a +9 scorecard candle. We have a gold candle, which is good for both buys and sells. Down in the sniper later, we have a blue sniper snake line. We have a blue trend line as well. The problem here is price was not above the 55 yet. It didn't close above the 55 yet. So we were waiting for a candle where it closes above the 55 and everything is still valid, right? Nothing's turned red at the point of entry. Everything's still valid. So this one here, if we look, see where we're at here. This was EURJPY right here. There's where the alert went off, and then we waited till we got that close above the 55 here. This blue line here is our 55 EMA, right? Once we got that, that's when we were able to enter the trade. And again, there's our 1-to-1. That was another winning trade. This is EURUSD. Okay, the alert went off, brought us to the charts right here. Price did come down into the bands here. It also, the wick comes back into the bands here as well. We have a blue +9 scorecard. The score doesn't matter. The scores will be anywhere from 3 to 14. That just means in the background, there's 9 other different indicators running in the background that tells us this should be a good time to buy. Okay, should be a good time to buy. Doesn't mean you'll win every trade. Okay, doesn't mean you win every trade. And I'll show you my trade results on my funded challenge at the end of this video. But you won't win every trade. You will lose some. But it's just saying that the conditions are right for this to move up. Okay. So we're blue down here in the sniper later. It looks like we were blue. The snake was blue. We also had a blue trend line, and price did close above the 55 EMA. So right here we see there's our ATH pulse goes off here, our pulse, and then we are above the 55. So we enter this trade. Price does move against us. Then it moves up, and then it moves down. This did get to a 1-to-1. This was a winning trade. I have mine marked out a little bit differently here. I just want to see if it's going to go past the 1-to-1, but the 1-to-1 would have been right about here. So this would have been a winning trade for you with a risk to reward of 1-to-1. Next one here is GBP JPY. Again, this brings us to the charts. Price did move down into those lower volatility bands. We have a +6 scorecard. We're bullish here. We have a blue sniper line, a blue trend line, but our candle's gray. Gray candles are no good. Uh, so we obviously have to wait. We're also not closing above the 55 EMA yet. So we weren't able to take this trade until after this candle here. So I'll show you. So here we have GBP, JPY. Could see here's where our alert went off, brought us to Sniper Pro. And then right here, we get a close above that 55 EMA. And that's where we were able to enter this trade. Again, this shot right up. There was the one-to-one right there. This was a real quick trade. You're in and out in less than 30 minutes. Okay, another one we have here is the NAS 100. This is the NAS 100. The alert went off, brought us to the charts here. We have a scorecard, a blue scorecard. We're bullish here, right? But down in the sniper later, we have a red dash line. We have a red candle, so we have to wait. We're not above the 55 yet either. So the 55 is right here. So we just have to wait to take this trade. And we have to make sure that when we take the trade, the candles are blue, the sniper later snake is blue, the trend line's blue, this is blue. Everything has to stay blue before we can enter that trade. And we can see here, for some reason, I didn't have the ATH in here, but the ATH did go off here. I don't quite know what happened. Sorry about that. But anyway, this was a losing trade. Okay. We got in this trade. Again, something happened here when I took the picture. Sometimes when you come to the charts on TradingView, it takes a little bit of time to load the EMA and to load the indicator. And apparently I took this picture too fast. The price we did get the ATH alert here, and it did close above the 55, but it ended up losing. Okay. So obviously I wouldn't show you a losing trade if it wasn't a valid losing trade, right? So that's a loss that we had here. Next one's USD JPY. Brings us to the chart here. The ATH alert goes off on TradingView. We're down here in the lower volatility bands. We have a blue scorecard, which is good. We're bullish, but down here we're still red. Our sniper line's blue, but our trend line's red, and our candle's gray. So the next candle is a gold candle. It crosses and closes above the 55, right? And everything turns blue on that candle there. So on TradingView, you can see right here, that kind of happens right here. We take this trade, and again, this one loses as well. That's going to happen. You're going to have losing trades. You're not going to win them all. But if you apply this strategy consistently over time, you will end up with more winners than losers, and you will make money. Now, I can't guarantee that. And again, keep in mind that this video is for educational purposes only. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not qualified to give investment advice. Forex is risky. You can lose all or part of your capital, which is why we always trade on demo first. This was a losing trade. The next one here is gold. Okay, gold, we had this price came down into the lower bands. That's those three blue lines there, 1, 2, 3. We got a +6 blue scorecard. We're bullish, but we're red down here. We have a gray candle, and we're not above the 55 EMA yet. So we have to wait. We get a close above the 55 here. We have a blue candle. We're a blue dash line, a blue sniper line. Everything lines up there. And you can see here that we take the trade right after this candle closes. And boom, that was a nice move up. That would have been a winning trade for you. And those are all the examples from last week, guys. Now, what I want to do, I just wanted to show you real fast. I mentioned that I used this exact strategy on the 5-minute time frame. Again, you can use it on the 15 or the 30. We have people using it on the 1 in the community. I don't advise you do that unless you're an advanced trader and you've been trading on the 1 minute before. In any case, you're going to start on demo first. Now, I did use this exact strategy to pass phase 1 of my challenge here. This is my certificate from that, passing phase 1, and now I move on to phase 2. So in phase one, I had to make an 8% gain on my account without losing 1%, right? I'm sorry, without losing 10%, not 1%. I had an 8% gain without losing 10% first. There's also daily limits that you can lose, and if you exceed them, you fail the challenge as well. But I did pass phase one, and now on phase two, I have to now get a 5% gain before I get my live funded account that I can trade with and earn a 80-20 split. Okay, but just to show you, because people always say to me, Bill, you guys show all these trades after the fact. Are you really taking these trades? What are you doing? So this is the back office of my funded account challenge here with Top One Trader. Started this on 8/15, so it took me a little bit over a month to get that 8% gain. It's a 10K challenge. I started with 10K. You can see I got the $10,811. So I passed the 8% gain that I needed. And again, the win rate 62%. So this strategy is not win all the time. You don't need it to win all the time. You just have to apply it consistently over time. And this is the win rate that I got with this strategy in about the past 30 to 40 days, right? So average win 98.92. Scroll down here a little more. You'll see that really I had very little drawdown on this. The lowest volume I had was $9,957. So I lost like $43. That was it. Again, it took me 40 days, 3 hours and 26 minutes. Profit target was 800. I had $811.16, right? Average win was 98.92. Average loss 95.54. Best trade 198.10. Worst trade minus 124.79. Win ratio 1.6. Risk to reward 1.4. 39 trades taken. Down below here, it shows every one of the trades. Right, so all trades are down below. These were the last, you can see here the last 6 trades. I won 5 out of the last 6 in order to pass that challenge. Okay. So that is the strategy. That is our new strategy, guys, right? And this is the videos for that strategy done by our community leaders. You have my video here that I just done showing you the results from last week using this strategy. Okay. Now, one thing I want to talk about real fast before I close up, guys, is 2 things, news and end of day. I'm going to make it quick. With news, you have to remember when you're trading on these lower time frames using this strategy, you have to really focus on the news events. When you're on the higher time frames, it doesn't matter as much. Okay. This lower time frame strategy works on all sessions, the Asian session, the New York session, the London session. Obviously, the best sessions for lower time frames are the New York and the London, but we have people using on the Asian session. It works on the Asian session. The higher time frame strategy works equally across all the sessions because the trades are taken on the higher time frames. Okay. This one requires you to be relatively present for a couple hours during a trading session, right? I like to trade during the New York session. I'm usually right around my computer doing things. I'm either working on the computer or working somewhere else around the house for like that 3-hour period where I'm looking for trades, right? 3, sometimes 4 hours. All depends on what my day looks like, right? Here, this is for people who work full time. They just got to look at the charts maybe 10 minutes before they go to work, 10 minutes after they come home from work, see if there's any trades that they can take or could have taken and what the results would have been. And you'll be able to see right away if this strategy is going to work for you once you get started with us. Okay. But talking about the news when you're on the lower time frames, you don't want to take any trades basically 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after any high impact news. That's red folder news. You can look at Forex Factory, you can look at MyFX books, wherever you want to go. You want to stay away from trading during those times, right? So you also don't want to really, you just want to make sure you stay away from trading during those times. Now, if you're on the 1 minute or a 5 minute, you can adjust that to 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after if you want to. I like to stay with 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after. So I don't like to trade during that time. Okay. Now, if you've come to the charts early and you get a trade alert from TradingView, right? You go to Sniper Pro and you get a confirmed entry to take a trade. Maybe you have news coming out in an hour and a half or 2 hours from now, then you can still take that trade, right? What I like to do, I just take a half position. So if I'm normally going to risk 1%, I just risk a half percent. That way I can just let that trade run through the news and I can journal it to see what happens, right? I'm fine if I lose my half percent. Okay. Now, if you're on demo, you can do the same thing because you're not using your real money. You can use that as a learning experience to see what's actually going to happen. So it doesn't matter if you just take a half position or a full position because you're actually on demo, right? So, but if you're on a live account, that's different. So you don't want to trade 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after any high impact news on the pair that you're going to trade. And again, high impact news on the dollar affects every pair. Okay. And it's always best to just wait till after 30 minutes after the news has passed, right? You can take those trades before the news if you have an hour and a half, you know, or 2 hours before the news. But once you're in that 1 hour window, it gets a little tricky, okay, especially for me. And I don't like to take any at all. Like I said, 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after the high impact news is scheduled to come out. The other thing is end of day trading, guys. When you're on these lower time frames, trading at the end of the day, as you may know, market closes from 5 p.m. Eastern time to 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's what I mean by end of day. Okay. So what happens is when the market reopens, the spreads go crazy. Okay. And sometimes you can get stopped out of a position. And then when you go and look at your chart, it doesn't look like price came anywhere near where you had your stop loss. That's because the spreads are opening up. I've seen spreads open up as much as 30 or 40 pips on some pairs. Okay. So when you're on the lower time frame, it's best to just get out of the trade between that 4 to 5 p.m. window Eastern time, right? But if you're going to hold it, and again, if you're on demo, really doesn't matter, right? You can just let it run and see what happens, and then you'll have that to journal that, and you'll be able to see what you should do in the future. Okay. But if you're risking your real money, you're on a funded challenge, a funded account, you may want to just exit that trade. If you're going to hold that trade, you're probably going to have to remove your stop loss. And we really don't recommend you ever do that, right? But you have to make that decision whether or not to do that. This way, when those spreads open up, even though price doesn't move, you won't get stopped out at a loss. Okay. Now, you do risk the chance of something drastic happening in the market and you actually end up losing more than you expected to. Okay. So, like I said, the best thing to do when you're trading on the lower time frames is just get out of the trade in that 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. window. Okay, guys, this is it. That's it. That's all I wanted to go over today. This is our new community strategy. Um, and again, if you want to get started with our community and the company that we're with, you can get the membership today. You can try us out for 7 days. If it's not for you, you can request a full refund from the company as long as you're within that 7 day window. They will give it to you. Have a great day, guys. Any questions, hit me up. My contact information is down below. Have a great day.